This is a Pyramid One International Network presentation. Hi, and welcome to Pyramid One World Radio. Let me tell you about the hosts of the upcoming show, A View of Humanity. Maggie Clark was just voted and given an award for the best psychic in Phoenix, Arizona, 3 years in a row. Evidential psychic medium Maggie Clark offers powerful and accurate validations of the spiritual dimensions around us. As a spiritual teacher, Maggie shows how to integrate the natural psychic senses with the empowerment of spiritual knowledge to help create a more fulfilling life of love, happiness, and success. Maggie's avid curiosity to understand how his gifts work have led him to participating in scientific studies about the afterlife and mediumship. As a master educator in spiritual development, Maggie shares his wisdom through his podcast, Psychic Evolution, the podcast where you discover the psychic potential within and learn how to empower yourself and manifest your psychic and mediumship abilities. Maggie Clark is also an author of the children's book series, The Adventure of Rocco and Tuki, The Kids from Mars, Book 1 and 2, as well as the Psychic Evolution Training Cards, and the Maggie Isms, Philosophies and Isms of a Psychic Medium. Now, let's talk about Maggie Clark. Maggie Clark is the co-host of the Psychic Evolution podcast and a prolific spiritual coach, an accomplished healer. Maggie is committed to helping people find a way to blend their spiritual life with their everyday life for empowerment, healing, and growth. The author of 365 Days of Tarot, Inspirational Tarot for your daily life. Maggie is a gifted tarot reader and astrologer. Maggie also has a healing arts practice in energy healing modalities. Together, these two team up to show you that your psychic senses are so natural, they are supernatural. Okay, now put your hands together. Let's bring them on. Oh, my Lord.
Hey, I love the intro music, too. That's good. Very nice. Good vibe.
Yeah, I love things.
Yeah.
People say I'm crazy. Learn how to play a piano. I said, it's the same thing.
You got the talent to do it, man. That's the point. It's funny, but I'm actually honored. I've actually attained it 4 years in a row now for the Best in Phoenix kind of thing. So it's really cool. A lot of fun, man.
Yeah, and you know what? I tell a lot of people that, and a lot of people listening right now, especially down around here, people that work in the pizza business, that they're all like, wow, is it really, does he really do that? I said, yeah, get on. And all of a sudden, for the last, I don't know, maybe 2 months, they've been listening to our shows.
Excellent.
They have the, the ear things. know,
Uh-huh.
and
Yep.
they run around with their thing in that in their back pocket, but they're listening to us in their ears and making pizzas at the same time.
I love it. Look at that nourishment that goes into the food, man. Literally,
I'm
energy.
serious. I mean, I
That's
can't say
awesome.
the name of the pizza place, but I'm serious. It's the best. It really, really is. I
We
mean,
love pizza.
Oh,
yeah, but the best,
yeah.
the best, man. You guys, we have to meet one of these days that before we all drop. In like Brooklyn or
Oh,
down the
that would be
Bronx or something like
cool.
that. Oh, I'm telling
Wow.
you, man, that's pizza. When they're,
Man.
when they're like 28 inches wide around, you know, and it's like when you get a slice, the slice is this big. Now,
Yeah.
anybody that's listening to me but can't see what I'm doing, if you take a 1 foot ruler, the slice is just a little longer.
Nice. And
So
nice
you
and
got to,
cheesy,
if you can
juicy.
imagine, oh, forget it.
Oh, I
Like,
can.
oh man, you'd be in a bad, yeah, you'd be cleaning your hands and the arms, shirt,
Clean
and
your
lap,
bowl.
and pants and everything for like, oh, the grease goes all over the place. Oh man, I'm telling you.
That's good pizza, man.
And
Drippy
and
drools.
when I was over when I was a long time ago now, when I was in the communication business before internet, this is when internet was just starting. Now
Yeah.
I'm real old. But anyway, I was working with Bell and T-Mobile at the time when T-Mobile was a baby. It was a
Yeah.
little office in Brooklyn. Anyway, I went over there and they said, "You got to come down here and get this pizza. You got to get this pizza." Well, this Sicily, whatever pizza it is,
Hmm.
Siciliano pizza,
Sicilian. Yeah.
goddamn thing is 2.5 inches thick, and the
Wow.
square is like 8 inches by 8 inches, and you do need a knife and a fork. There's
I
no
bet.
way to get away around it. And I'm telling you, I was full for 2 days.
I bet. One slice, man, will fill you. That's
Yeah,
amazing. I
yeah.
went to Chicago and I actually got a little bit of an
Same,
opportunity to enjoy that. God, that was amazing.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
deep
Excellent.
dishes. Yeah.
Yeah. Great
same
flavor,
stuff,
man.
same stuff. Yeah, but
See,
they make these big things.
it's nice when we can enjoy the journey, man. For me, I always say I'm not going to be the healthiest person in the cemetery. I'm going to have my pizza, my cake, my ice cream. I want to enjoy all of that and go good. If you can transmute it, because for me, it doesn't really matter what you eat. That intent vibe is what integrates with me. So I can eat all the stuff that I want, but still looking pretty decent. Heading towards
Mm,
60, ain't looking too bad. That's the good
you know,
thing is let's take care of
well,
us.
that's the whole thing. Like I don't know. See, you're what? You were born in the '60s, yeah,
Yep.
'60s,
Yep. Mid 60s. Yep.
mid '60s. So I mean, and I'm all the way back from the '51. This is when I was born, and Diane, the same thing. We were born in the area where everything had preservative in it. They had chemicals in food. I mean, we used to enjoy. I mean, I remember when it came out, the first TV dinner. And you had to put in the oven, had a metal top, came with
Yeah.
aluminum, the whole 9 yards like that. I mean, these were things that when we die, just stand us in the corner. We're preserved already.
You
They
look
don't
radiant.
yeah, they don't have to put anything in. It's just stand us in the corner, put my arm out like this. The birds can land there.
Beautiful. Hey, I just want to thank you for all that you do. You do a great job. You kick some booty, so thank you.
We do the best we can, and hopefully, I'm watching this thing, and that is the thing is going, but it looks good to me.
Cool.
Well, we know, Mercury's in retrograde, so we kind of have to remember things might have to be a little bit more patient with the electronic piece of it all.
It's interesting,
Uh,
but
Eh,
for the
eh,
astrology and that, I've
eh.
always been impressed. Yeah, but there seems to be oddball things around whenever that stuff is happening, that there's glitches and other things. Like, oh, that's weird. Very cool.
I love Mercury retrograde because when it goes into retrograde, we can all go into that inner place where we get to contemplate how we think in a more refined way. We revisit things, we integrate, we go within versus without. I think it's beautiful. We have 6 planets in retrograde right now, so this is
Sick.
a 6 planets. Yes, all the outer planets from Jupiter, Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, Pluto, all the outer planets and Mercury, they're all retrograde right now. So all these planets are going they appear to look backwards when you're looking in the sky, which was
However.
called retrograde, but really they're just continuing on their orbit. But from our vantage point on Earth, we're looking at things going backwards, but all it does is help that energy get pulled inward into our system instead of like an outward expression of those planetary energies. We have an inward reflection happening. So it's a time where we can actually take some more time for ourselves. I mean, I think that is so needed in our world, to really go within, to sit with these planetary energies in different ways, and to revisit different themes in our life that they might be bringing up for us. I don't know. I find retrograde times to be really, really cool. So,
Well, one of these days, I mean, I'm serious. I mean, things are like, for instance, a few minutes ago, an hour ago, whatever, and then we had it on Newsnet thing that all the stock exchange numbers are down by 1,200 plus.
Yeah.
1,200. Now, I thought somebody told me one time that at 700 you crashed.
Yeah, huh?
I don't.
Oh, sorry. Got my
It
doggy
bites.
here
Watch
too in
it.
the way. I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
want to kick him.
But you understand. I mean, there's so many things that maybe it was a full moon or something like that. I don't know. Even the full moon, that I was going to call you that day. I was actually going to call you on the phone.
Yeah, anytime you want.
No, but I know. But I mean, I don't like to bug you because you're out doing your thing. But the thing was, I went out with the dog, and now there's a lot of people out there that can relate with me, because now they're going out with their dogs early in the morning. I'm serious. I was the other morning at like 4:30 in the morning. That this one person goes by my house, another one goes by. Like, I got here in the studio, we got a big window there, but I have it blocked off because the sun that's out here that reflects off the building next door. The next building next door to us is white. So it's like taking a flashlight and shining it in your eyes. What kind of thing. But I'm watching these people at 4 o'clock in the morning. Who cares about the sun? But I'm watching these people, and they go back and forth. I'm saying, what did I do? And I was in there's a clubhouse that's connected to where we are, big thing, and that, people, pools and hot things and all kinds of stuff. But I went over there, and I was saying to them, I was telling them about going early in the morning and meditating and whatever. And I do it once in a while. I mean, I'm not going to say that I don't. Because every once in a while I do. I give it a shot.
Cool.
One of these days I get it right. But the idea of the thing is that I'm looking at what's myself from inside feels free.
Nice.
No matter what's going, I mean, it's a feeling that you really, if it wasn't like, you and I have been talking about this for a long time, and I've told you that I did this for a long time. But the more I do it, the more I concentrate on doing it, the more I get out of it. Like that whole day, if it really, really works and it really, really feels good, that whole day, you could roll over my car and with my foot with a car, and I turn around and say thank you. It totally, totally changes everything around you. The energy that you're made of changes. It totally goes positive.
And the vibe that you emanate becomes that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The people that are around you. I mean, let's face it. When I go into the place now where I work in the morning, those people that think I'm nuts, they really do. They say, "How can you come in and like they all look like somebody rolled over them with the car?" I mean,
and
literally.
they said, "Thank you, may I have another."
I'm serious. But I come in and I'm doing my thing, and I'm doing, smiling the whole 9 yards, and I'm up at 3 o'clock in the morning. Should I be doing that? should I be wide awake and everything else? No. But if you do what I do, and I'm not saying to do what I do because you could do better than what I do. People who do that, just the part of loving yourself and loving what's around you, but believing it, and that's half of the battle. You have to really, 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 really believe it.
And that's the dynamic of being able to be good for yourself. Because I've learned now over all these years that the more love, energy, attention, and compassion I give myself is no longer narcissism. It's self-realization. I cannot give what I do not have. And it's nice because it's not a cockiness, it's a confidence. And within that, it's that kind of connection to go, man, anyone can do anything that any of us are doing. Do they choose to, and what level do they want to take it to?
Yeah.
in that capacity, I've done a lot of scientific studies, and we've got more scientific studies coming up in January, which is really cool.
Ooh.
And there's a documentary that has been made about some of the other studies that I did in years before.
Oh, cool.
So it'll be entertaining and informative. Very cool.
Yeah.
Looking forward to seeing it.
Are people going to be able to get a copy of that? Or
once it's out. Right now, we're kind
Should
of
be
for
on Amazon Prime when it comes
Yep,
out. So when
yep.
it comes out, we'll release it.
But for the other scientific studies, it's mum's the word until we get going into that. So it's really cool. I love this.
I'll talk to you on the side. Don't worry about it.
Yes, exactly.
I mean, seriously, I want to be I'm front.
Yeah,
first
you'll
guy
be kept in touch every step of the way.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard of this and I've talked to you about it for years.
Yeah. Yep.
We've talked about that for years. So to see where it actually got,
Yes. And for me, it was fun. I enjoy being able to contribute to humanity in any way in this scientific methodology, man. And if we can be entertaining and informative, it's even better. So it's really good. I got to see the clip of the beginning, and it looks great. I'll be able to hopefully see the documentary either tonight or tomorrow.
Ooh,
so
good.
Yeah, it'll be really cool. I'm very
so
honored.
when Arizona blows up over there, I know who saw the beginning.
Yep, exactly. Yep. So
I'll hear from here.
But it's a lot of fun. And as I always say, this is not only what I do, it is who I am. I don't know how to be anything different. And in being able to have fun and entertaining and all that kind of good stuff, it's really nice because it keeps it light. I found that, the spiritual, is that what they call it? Spiritual stuff? Yeah. It doesn't have to be scary and whatever. It's, man, it could be a great thing with love, happiness, and empowerment, with success. All of those dynamics that, just like you and like us, I needed to make sure that I'm good for myself too. Hi, I'm Jamie. I'm no longer a hypocrite. As much as I'm good to others, I keep myself included. Because I always say people don't know how to help the one who helps everyone else. They'll offer.
And what's so nice about that is, I see you and I'm listening to Bob going, hey, I start my morning with this attitude of gratitude and like a meditative like stillness, and my whole day's amazing. And you do the same thing. I mean, I think this what everyone could learn from both Bob and you, Jamie, myself too, of course, but is start your day taking care of you, really tapping into those deeper pieces, the inner pieces, the part that is still and quiet and always speaking to your heart. I think that is the most beautiful thing that both of you are talking about today, and then watch everything unfold. He can get run over by a truck and say thank you. And you got a new documentary coming out because you said thank you a long time ago, So,
And
no, wait a minute. How many times do you get up in the morning and turn on the news or whatever?
No,
I don't.
But I do.
Yeah,
I do. I'm the kind of person I've got to see both sides of the coin. I can't make comments or talk about anything unless I know both sides of the story.
Very nice.
Because how do you know what the right answer is unless you put the two of them together?
The best that we can.
Then logically, you come out with an answer, which
hopefully
Washington can't. So we got to give them a hand,
Yeah.
All the things that are happening right now, it doesn't take you down or me down. And she's right, actually. Maggie's right. We can, how would you say it? We're like a screen door, Things, bad energy, whatever, goes through us like a screen door. It's in and out. You know it was there. You know what it was. And you care about it, but not enough to affect you. And you can't say, I love me, or you love yourself, or you love whomever is around you, unless you believe in what is going around you and is the true of what, or in the now is the truism.
Yes.
In your life. And I'm serious. I mean, the things that go. I mean, I got a dog. You got a dog. What does he do? What is mine in the morning? And the first thing he does, after we go out for our walk and everything else. Then he takes his little nap and everything, and that while I'm working on the computers. The first thing he does before I have my breakfast is he brings me a bone or a ball or something, drops it right on the floor. I mean, he's standing there. You ever see that commercial now where a dog drops the thing out of its
Bag,
mouth?
yeah.
Yeah, with the commercial. That's what my dog does. Just honk, hits the floor.
You get my meaning, Pops?
Yeah, serious. And it's like, okay, you got to pick it up now. I mean, the dog starts his day like everybody in the world should start their day. They don't look at things like we do. That's why I said it to yesterday. I said it to somebody. What we do here on this show, just interacting with each other, is more important than anything that's going on around us right now because we're teaching people to take what's going on around you and make it work for you, not against you.
Yep. Very good.
And just like I was going to say, just like her cards are working for you. Now, if you can, if the world can work for you and you can work for it, man, I tell you, this place would change just like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, huh? Tipping point. We're getting there. We're already there as humanity, but sometimes it takes the trickle effect to get into the mass consciousness. And just for myself.
I was going to say, to keep on saying it about the end of the world.
Okay.
We are going to have an end of the world. This one.
Yeah.
There will be a new one. Same place, different story.
What do you mean by that?
No, what I'm saying is you're going to get to the point where people are just going to have had it. They can't take it anymore. So that's when they're going to open their minds to other things, like the spiritual thing. Did you ever look in? I looked the other day because somebody told me about it. You look into all kinds of sites, dating sites, job sites, and things, and that where anybody puts in a horoscope. Any site that has it down. When it goes down a little bit further, now you'll see something like a religion or your deities or whatever. It's all in the same line of stuff. How many of them? The ones I saw, about 90% of them have spirituality. It's changing. A year ago, it didn't look like that. People they're going in the right direction, just a little slow, but they're going in the right direction. Now they need leaders. They need people to teach them how to keep going.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people that will try it, they'll do it, they'll profess it, and then go, it's not working. How do you know? How do they know it's not working? Somebody's got to teach you how to realize what works and what don't.
Right. And getting that information, I always say, I could feel and receive all the information I want, but what's the accuracy of that? Otherwise, I'm not going to be flipping that out there. It's those dynamics of giving yourself that communication and realization. That's what Mag and I love doing is sharing insights. We don't know nothing for nobody, but if we can share these different perspectives, sometimes that gives you a different vantage point to go, I've heard that crap 1,000 times, but click. It's the first time I kind of see it that way. And I'm like, good, question everything and put it to the test and keep going. Let me know how it goes. And I usually attain it, man. They come back on, I did it. I'm like, freaking A, congratulations. What else do you want to do? Because you've now just done that. If the approach ain't broke, don't fix it. Bring some more on if they want to.
I tell people all the time, and that if you feel something, or if you have a question of something, or if you're questioning yourself in any way whatsoever, I have an email address. I said, I can take your question and put it out there and get you an answer that is an answer.
Excellent.
Not something that's BS. It's a real answer. I mean, you know how many people come on. I mean, how many people have been on this show? And I still talk to, and still talk to me. It's Facebook, forget about it. I mean, I get writes back and forth and that all the time. Oh, you still alive? I got one of them the other day. I was like, yes, I'm still here.
Oh dear.
I met, believe it or not, you want to talk about, look, the last time I saw a guy that wrote me the other day was 1972.
Okay.
He caught me in Facebook. And I forget what it was. It was one of the shows that I had put on Facebook. And he thought the voice in there was my voice. And it's Bob Charles. It doesn't have my real last name because Bob Charles is my name. It's Charles is my middle name. But this guy was like, he was like, "Are you the person, Ned? Are you the person?" And I'm looking at this thing, saying, "Damn." It's like he's got he's got this stuff right. I mean, like really. I mean, who would be burning rubber in a high school parking lot?
Yeah. Yep.
Me.
Uh, or pulling what's his wheelies on my motorcycle up and down the drive, the parking lot. Me, and I'm like, whoa. So I wrote back to him and I says, "Are you the same Brian?" That like, yeah, that's me. I couldn't believe it. 1972 was the last time I talked to him.
Is that
Nice.
great
So,
how it comes back around?
but this is all our lives. But you have to reach out. You got to go for to find out who's around you, who you know, or what they say is what is it? Keep your enemies, whatever.
Closer. Yeah. Keep your
Yeah,
friends close
friends
and your
close,
enemies
your
even
enemies
closer.
closer.
Know
Why
who
not?
you're dealing with.
Why
Yes.
not? There's people that hated you a long time ago, and now they'll turn around and go, "Oh man, God, I'm really really glad you're still around and everything else." Like, hey, yeah, I'm still breathing.
I'm glad you're still alive, old man. You're like my really, 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 really older brother.
Let me quickly get to this phone call because the poor guy's going to hang up. I know it.
Okay, very
Or
good. Hey,
woman.
good. So they're able to call in. That's beautiful.
Yeah, well, you never
Yeah,
know.
I wasn't sure if that was working.
No, more. Huh? The phone? Oh baby.
Yeah.
Oh
Well,
baby.
now yeah, that's a given.
He's still alive, remember?
Yeah. Oh, that's why.
Yeah, yeah. I'm breathing. Let me see. Okay. Who's in area code 408 or 480? Sorry.
Well, guess who?
JK.
Hey, yep. You knew that quick, man. How you doing, JK?
Sure. Bob.
For some reason, he's chopping up. I'm not quite hearing him. Hey, JK, if you could say that again, please. I just want to make sure that I hear you. For some reason, there's just a little bit of not clarity.
Well,
Are you hearing the same
He
thing,
might. I
Bob?
think he has
Is
a
that-
bad connection.
Okay, so
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, it's a terrible connection. Yeah.
Hey, so what's up?
Yeah, you're hearing us. You're hearing us wall to wall, right?
Yeah, fine, but you know what, phone?
You know what? Where your phone is, don't move. If you're walking around or if you're moving with the phone, that's what you're doing. You're losing your tower.
Yeah, I want to make sure we don't miss
I'll-
what you're saying.
I'll be
I don't-
staying right here now.
There you go.
There you go.
Much better. Cool.
Okay, so Bob is still alive, huh?
Huh? As he's like, question.
Let's not
It's
check
just
it.
not a clone.
No,
Ah,
you never. There's plenty
we
of
could
them.
go in
walking
that
around.
direction. Oh,
Yeah. Oh yes, there is.
yeah. Hey, so what's up, JK?
Nothing, but I'm going to be doing a live show with Bob on October 4th.
Hey, excellent. If you would, JK, because I was trying to click on your shows, and for some reason, it doesn't play at all. It doesn't take me to any other window, nothing. So if there's any insight that you can share for me and with me so that I can tap in, because I'm like, well, I want to hear your show, but for some reason, it's not clicking in. Does anyone else share that with you, or everyone else gets to get in?
Yeah, no, you have to go on my Facebook page, and I have a page on my Facebook page called the Mystic Spirit Podcast.
Okay, but it also shares like your links and stuff for the show in a separate, not on your Facebook page, but like in the whatever it is, the home thing.
The messenger.
Well,
Yeah,
it's Spotify, and I have no clue where that's even at.
Yeah, the one on messenger did not work. He's correct.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Because
So
I'm
you
like,
have to
man,
go on Facebook and my Mystic Spirit Podcast page on there, and that's where everybody listens to all my podcasts.
hey, and congratulations for starting your own show, man. That's beautiful.
Well, now I'm moving up to, well, not my idea. Spirit's making me do it.
Yeah, but you're listening. Good. That's good enough, man.
Well, you know what happens when you don't listen, right?
Sometimes it isn't the best thing. Yeah.
Not going that again.
Hey, so what got you to go in this direction of getting on air to share your life and experiences? After all these years, why'd you finally choose now?
The spirit's making me do it. I don't have a choice.
Look at how much you have faith and acceptance in that communication. Like, man, Spirit's always talking with us, not just to us, but with us. And it sounds like you're listening as part of the channeling of information. Because if we can get enough shows in different ways to give them some different perspectives, not better or worse, but different, sometimes that can be very informative. That's why I always say, please question everything. Just be open. In that, with your show, can I ask what exactly are you sharing? Is it your life experiences with your training?
You're talking about my regular podcast, the Mystic Spirit podcast?
Yes, sir. Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is basically the lessons that for my books. Basically, it's what it is. I'm reading those off. Actually, people listen to them, and they really are liking them because it's actually helping them out.
Cool. That's excellent. So, yeah, if you're on another platform, if you're on any other aspects, please let me know so that I can click on it and listen to it. Just for some reason, I wasn't able to click on it.
I'll be able to find it for you.
Yeah, she's amazing.
We could do too. For the first one, Ed, you're gonna be alone by yourself. I'll be in there though.
Yes.
But the other thing was that, like, the second one that we have up, we should put you and Jamie together, and then open it up to anyone who wants to come in.
That would be cool. That'd be fun.
So now you have a panel with listeners. You've got a classroom.
Nice.
Well, yeah.
In the comfort of their own home. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So we'll do that. We'll do that on. The next week is yours. October 4th is his. The one after is yours.
Yeah, good. Let's work it out. Just let me know.
That sounds good. I think we get a little bit more people listening in on it.
Well, cool. Yeah. What you're doing, JK. What you're doing is unbelievable. But the idea is you want to get people talking to people. It doesn't matter. You could put it in a dozen newspapers. You could throw it. You could stand on a building and start screaming it on the 80th floor. It's not going to do damn for you. But what is going to help you? What's going to help you is
Spirit is going this route.
What people are going to do is people are going to post it. People are going to talk about it. People are going to say, this guy said. Even if they turn around and say, hey, this crazy guy over there, he said, hey, he's going to this. That person that they were talking to is probably going to be the first one that's going to hook up to the show.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it doesn't matter whether it's negative or positive. Everything is you're going to attract everything. You're going to be a magnet.
Yeah. And I think finding those avenues of communication, because I would say you could have all the knowledge in the world, but if nobody knows you're there, whatever. So it's that kind of practicality. Like we were talking about, Bob, many years ago when we first started working together. I'm like, you got a library you're starting to create, man, already. And so now after many, many guests and hosts, you've got that library where they can have a variety of different subjects, not just one, but a variety. And when they can go through that library in their own comfort of their home, and it's a little bit easier for them to just click on it and listen to it. So, God bless technology, man. It's bringing us together.
And like we were talking a couple of minutes ago, these people that use the earbuds all the time, they could be rude, having their regular day and listening to one of JK's shows.
Yeah, it's that easy. Yep.
I know they listen to Jamie, Maggie. They listen to you guys all the time.
Cool. Exactly. That's great.
She belongs to, what is it, Next Door?
Yep. Apparently.
She's got fans. Oh my goodness. And I just wrote her something over and I said, hey, to see if they want to listening to something. And then they'll ask for, well, you have another one? I mean, this is how it started. And there's hundreds. I mean, she's on machine. I would say a good 7 hours straight.
Wow.
Talking to all these. I mean, her mail in the morning just goes, pow.
I bet.
Just blows.
That'd be a lot of energy to put out, man. I'm like, yeah, I got to orchestrate.
Yeah, forget about it. That's too much.
Yeah.
Oh, while we're talking about this, Maggie, I had a question for you.
Okay.
One of these days, we got to do a full reading on me.
Excellent.
Yes.
Wait a minute, hold on. Somebody else had done a reading, right? And they sent me the reading and everything. And I said, no. So, I mean, for some reason, maybe this, you're more, you're, what I feel you're reading. I didn't feel that one.
Right. You'll know.
Yeah. And it's interesting. We all have different ways of communicating. We all have different language that we use. And so one reader isn't going to be right for everyone. I'm not right for everyone. But I do encourage people to use the readers that they really feel connected with, and they're connected to the messages that they're receiving as well. Yeah, I think that's a very important process of choosing a good reader for yourself, So
And I always talk about the cool thing is I watch her in work and what she does. And I've always been impressed that these are cards. They're cards. Yet she can either have the person that she's reading for shuffle them in person, or she can do it through the ethers, in this case over the internet, and just get your vibrational soul print of consciousness and start whipping those out, man. And I love it because she's very practical, very knowledgeable, but puts it in a very plain, practical way. So it's like, okay, I get it. And the cool thing is, I see her in public presentations, whereas I always share, some of the people haven't been to one. They're like, okay, sure, those are lovely cards. And then she starts laying those things down and they're like, and what else do they say? So it becomes a lot more validated. Go, man, these are cards. Yet the person who's either shuffling them or Maggie who's shuffling their energy into them is getting that kind of information about the person and usually be very accurate with it. That's why I always appreciate to go, man, question everything. Please be skeptical about everything. Just be open. And so these people who are skeptically open will sit there before her, in this case. And like I said, it moves from, okay, this is lovely, to what else do those cards have to say? That's powerful.
Even JK will probably agree with me on this one. People who question or have questions are your best people to educate. Because
Yes.
that one question, all you need is one question. They're opening up their life to you with one question. And that's the one thing that they're unsure. It's not that they don't believe it. They just, doubt it in a way.
Right. Sure.
And as soon as you boost that and support it, and that now they give you more questions, and it keeps on going. And you can go through, like Mag, she can go through the whole deck of cards.
Yeah.
Somebody. I always wonder why the guy is always hanging up and down, upside down with his toes.
the hangman.
He's got all that information.
He's beautiful, isn't he?
Mm.
So we have to remember this hangman, it's a voluntary position. Okay, you're voluntarily hanging yourself upside down so that you can see things from a different vantage point. So that is primarily what the hangman is about seeing different perspectives. Because when you see the world upright, you're looking at everything from an upright position. But if you voluntarily hang yourself upside down, the energy all of a sudden flows upside down. You see things in a different way. So it's the first time in the major arcana where the energy, instead of coming up and out of us and expressing itself into the world, says, wait a minute, we also need to draw in spiritual energy from the cosmos. So let's hang ourselves upside down. Let's have faith that we're not going to fall on our heads. Okay. So faith is a primary example of that archetype imagery as well. And let me take a little review and integrate this cosmic energy that's coming into my energy field right now. Let me look at all the experiences I've been through, everything I know, believe, or think I know and believe, and let me figure out what I want to take with me after this, because we only have so much room to hold vibrations of energy. So we have to renegotiate and, I guess, recycle energy, sometimes let things go so it makes room for new energy in our lives. So anything here at the hangman that we see in a new way that allows us to let go of old energy and to open up to new cosmic energy, new restored faith in who we are, it prepares us to let go and also receive at the same time. It's a beautiful place. And we rediscover faith in ourselves, faith in the world, faith in wherever you might have lost faith. And you also rediscover that, oh, everything that I thought was one way there might be other perspectives around this as well. So you're really renegotiating quite a bit here. And the hangman vibrates with an energy of 12. So 1 + 2 = 3. Whenever we see a 3, we're thinking about a lot of creativity. In sacred geometry, it's the triangle, but it comes after the line. So if you think of the number 2 being a line between 2 points, it creates a line. Once you have that line created, what's the next thing that happens? You have to get extremely creative to see a new perspective, to see a new way, to see how we can creatively form new bridges of connection. So that triangle is a new creative energy that forms a bridge of connection. So at the hangman, you're doing the same thing. You're just flipping yourself upside down, and the energy is traveling in a new bridge of connection to yourself, from the cosmos to yourself. So it's a very rich card full of voluntary hanging self upside down to see things, but it's an integration point. And in everybody's life, you're going to go through all these learning experiences, these growth experiences, and at some point, you're going to need to process those experiences. So the hangman allows us to literally take that time that we need, the energy that we need to give back to ourselves, and to process what we've gone through, where we've been, and where we want to go next, and what we want to take with us when we go.
Yeah,
and I wound up using the pyramid.
Yeah.
Right, which is the upward. Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I was going in the right direction when I came up with that idea.
Well, and some of the pyramids actually have downward triangles under them. So they have the upward coming up, but then the hole underneath of a pyramid, they have chambers, and some of them create a downward triangle that go deep into the earth. So they do actually encompass the whole Merkaba energy, the tetrahedron energy, which is the upward and the downward triangle, which creates a huge energetic vortex field, not only in the human body, but it can create vortex fields like, say, for the pyramids and other sacred sites on the planet as well.
No, we got to go to the pyramids.
That would be amazing.
I'm serious. I mean, as soon as the things, as soon as they're not shooting people or blowing people up or anything, I really, really do. I want to go over there. I mean, maybe, who knows? Maybe I'll be that old that I won't be able to go. But
yeah, wouldn't that be amazing? And get to have that firsthand experience of the ancients.
I want to go in it.
Powerful.
That's what I want to do. I want to go in it. There's energy in that thing. I mean, that thing. I mean, as many times as they say how it was built, and they floated these rocks down the river. I mean, I own the boat, man. You put that brick and that on something that's going to go down a river. You ain't going to wind up on the river. You're going to wind up in the river.
Yeah, tons and tons sinking your boat.
On top of you. Right, exactly. So, I mean, let's face it. I mean, we had some help from somewhere else, and it wasn't exactly on this planet either. And you know what? That's going to be another thing that I want to bring up, because somebody was telling me about I'm not going to bring it in this show, but on another later show, the dimensions and everything else, and the way the dimensions are made and this and that. This guy was explaining all this stuff and it to me, and I'm saying to the guy, I said, "You listened to my show, didn't you?" So the guy says, "Oh, are you that pyramid? The pyramid something or other?" And I was like, Duh. Well, what the guy did was he actually went to a library and got a book, and he started reading about dimensions and what they are and everything else. But the part that we put in, or I put it in my show, was the part that a dimension is the now, when you take the dimension or the time and you put it together. So now, yesterday and tomorrow is together. It's now.
Exactly.
Just by folding the dimension. And I think that's what our friends that come here and spook around their little spacing things, I think that's what they do.
You'd be surprised at how many are physically walking on this planet, not just in little puny spaceships. It's like, oh, no. Way beyond that. And there's not just one species that's on this planet.
Oh,
Been coming here a long time.
Yeah, well, I watched the program the other day about the Hollow Earth.
Mm-hmm.
That was very interesting.
I will say that there is an Earth energy underneath the ground that is within this planet. There is water. There's all that kind of good stuff.
There's a sun. There's a sun.
It's in its own way. Yeah, like the core is that sun. Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
Weird. When I was watching that thing, I'm saying to myself, "Yeah, you want to go down a hole?" No.
Well, what if that's the potential of what happened on Mars? That their technology, they obliterated themselves. However, I just from my awareness, there are beings who are on the inside of that planet. It's not just the dust balls of the red planet. It's far beyond that.
Well, we could go into the planets and everything. I mean, I just like the moon. The guy dropped the thing. Did you hear the? I don't know if you had it one time. He goes on one of the astronauts that was on the moon goes on in this video, and he says when he dropped something on the ground, the planet rang.
Mm-hmm.
Something was very, 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 very heavy, and they dropped it on the ground. And when they dropped it on the ground, there was a ring.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get a ring out of the dirt. When you drop something on the ground, it goes thud.
Mm-hmm. Unless
Boing.
that dirt is covering over something.
Mm-hmm.
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 What if we do have other species that are on that moon? On the back side, on the dark side of the moon, what if there are bases that have been there? What if just a little bit as a potential regarding the knowledge of a species, in this case for humans, that they're going to go, okay, you know what? If they find their way to the moon, they're about ready to get some more insight about it. But until then, we'll just hang out. Because I believe that the moon never really fully rotates around the planet. How is that possible unless there's possibly a propelling energy that can control that a little bit more effectively? Just potentially. Or something like that.
That'd be interesting. Overall, when they originally said the man in the moon, what were they dreaming of?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, something like that. Anyway, JK.
Thanks for your patience, JK.
JK?
No problem.
Oh, you're there. Okay. Did you have any questions for either?
Well, maybe some straight on to the path of positivity.
All right. Wherever you were standing before, stand that way.
Stand there.
Put the phone out the window. Because that sounded terrible.
God, I know. Yeah, just JK, we want to make sure that we're hearing, everything that you're saying instead of chopped up.
Oh,
but now, have you been? Go ahead.
Where Jamie was explaining things to me, but I didn't get the dots connected until I talked to Maggie and Amanda Marquez one day, and then boom, everything connected, and I was led right up like you're right, and on my elected soul.
Yeah, that's what I tell people on Facebook all the time. And if you don't turn into the show, it's your loss, not ours.
Hey, we're here for you. They don't have to listen, but we certainly will step in to the empowerment. We want to help others to help themselves. It's a great dynamic. And I think, JK, that's in addition, what you're doing is you're starting and giving some different perspectives, not all the same kind of information, but your own soulful journey on this planet, at least at the moment of this life experience. And sometimes people just need to know, okay, I don't have to go through it, but I can learn from your experience, and I'm liking that. So that's why, a lot of people are tuning in more on these radio shows and podcasts and all that, because a lot of people over the past number of years, as you know, have been kind of sequestered into their own home and found themselves going, there's no more honey did. It's a honey did list, no honey do.
No, I still have a list.
She keep going.
It's very long. And I add to it all the time.
That's beautiful.
Oh, you do it.
Oh, she does. Yeah, I'm like that.
He makes his own mental lists. I actually physically make lots of lists.
Right. She's fantastic.
Oh, you're one of those. The only time I ever make a list is when I go to Walmart's.
That's a good idea, because that's a big place to get lost in.
Go to Costco. Yeah. Get those.
Yeah, I can get in and out of that and do all my shopping and everything else, and the food and whatever else that we happen to need. I can be in and out in 25 minutes.
Wow. Very
That's
nice.
impossible. But if you have that list, see, I know the store, so I start at the top of the list, and I get this. So I go, boom, out the door.
And some of the companies will switch the locations of their product. So it gets you to have to look around the store even more. Because once you know exactly where it is, at least for myself here in Costco in Phoenix, Arizona, they change things. They change the location of things, not everything, but a number of dynamics to go, that is brilliant because I'm used to being here and now they're not here. So let me look around this area and let's see where it's at. So in its own way, you become more aware and look at the store just by it being different.
They do that here because our Targets that were here a couple of years ago and that they blew the place up just about, and they completely changed the whole store. So the store is now inside out and backwards. And then CVS is now their the place now where you get your drugs.
Yeah, right.
So I mean that's with them. And now our other food store that we used to go shopping at, Publix, which owns Florida, just about. That's how big they are.
Wow.
They
I haven't heard of it.
Was this Sunday? Sunday. They put up these big signs, we're closed. They're renovating the show, the whole thing. They're taking the whole place down and building another.
Wow.
It's going to be like 2 years of this kind of stuff. So many places that are doing this, but they're doing it now when the actual people that who are buying things in the store are going down. The populations, as far as people going to stores, are going down. If they go once. They used to go twice or 3 times. Or you always used to see a parking lot full.
Yeah.
Anymore. So now is a perfect time for anybody that's going to do any kind of upgrades or anything. Do it now. While you have a chance. Because when people come back, when things, who knows what's going to happen in 2024. But whatever does happen, it's got to be better than it is right now. So, and they're going to be there. They want to, catch everybody that's ready to do business.
Yeah, very good. If you can be proactive with that, that can certainly help out. But it's that timing, that divine timing to go, when's the time to grow? When is the time to go in this other direction, depending on what it is.
Yeah, I've been to their headquarters is right here in my town, on the other side of my town.
Wow, nice.
And it is huge. Oh man, they got a lake and they got these water things up in the air and they got swans all over the place. And I mean, it's like, oh boy, I tell you, I was inside the place and they gave me a little tour of inside and everything. And it was like glass walls. When you go up and downstairs and stuff, all the walls are glass. Yeah. And go down, up and down, like where the offices are. In between the offices are glass floors, glass sides. So
wow. And look at how you feel as you're talking about that. You're just reciting, you're just recalling a memory, yet you're excited about it.
I'm seeing it.
Yeah, exactly. That's beautiful. It's that kind of imprint that we'll tend to function from consistently. Bit that, burned an edge in my brain. Here we go. Yep. They know if you repeat the pattern, it'll start to get into that mental consciousness.
Just a quickie. JK, how's your phone?
Yeah, very fine.
God. I wish we could hear him clearly.
As I said, JK, the best thing for you to do is stand still and stand by a window.
Raise your right arm and
jump up and down 3 times.
See if you can rub your belly at the same time.
Yeah, really.
I'm rubbing my belly.
There you go.
It works, man. I'm telling you.
That actually did work because we heard you.
I was going to say that. Do you have any questions?
Well, read Maggie would be nice.
Okay, get a reading from Mag.
Yeah. Do you have any target questions or you just want to see what comes up in the cards?
Yeah, see what happens.
See what happens, he said.
Perfect.
Cool. Go with it. Now, there are apparently, because I many different spreads of cards, many different amounts of cards that can give you information and more information. But on average, I believe you do what, 5?
Yeah, usually like in this type of thing, I can get a pretty good handle on an energy field in about 5 cards. You can do it in less, you can do it in 1. You can pretty much do what you want when you're a tarot card reader because there are no rules.
The good thing is you can make your rules, but you better be accurate. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, that's lovely. Those are lovely cards. let's get some insight from those lovely cards.
All right, a couple of things. First, we're starting off the parade with the Queen of Swords. So your focus right now, JK, is to make sure that you're speaking your truth and that you're a living, walking example of what you're talking about. That's really, really important for your energy field right now. The Queen of Swords is a very strong and a leadership card where your voice is coming out into the world. You're challenging inner dogma. You might be challenging other people's dogma as well with what you're talking about, what you share. The nice thing about this is you're building this from a very comfortable place. You're building it from a place of emotional harmony and balance. So it's a really great place to build. But also the next message that comes up with the Eight of Swords is about, okay, keep applying, keep applying, keep applying. There's this thing about making sure that you keep going forward, that you don't give up, that you keep challenging the things that need to be challenged within yourself to make sure that when you are speaking out in the world and you are sharing your voice with the world, that it's very harmonized with your own mission, your own purpose, your own soul path. You do have justice as the energy to use. So you're actually probably learning how to do this in a more effective way. Usually with justice, we've gone through a balancing point, some learning experiences, some places where we had to find this internal balance. So you use that as a springboard to keep going and keep applying. And this whole thing is going to lead you into judgment, which is about accepting soul responsibility. All of this is getting you to assume more responsibility. Now, when the Queen of Swords and Judgment play together, you do have the acceptance of all you're responsible for every thought you have, every thought that you put out into the world, and how you use your voice to do that. So there's a new level of responsibility that's coming up for you, a new level of sharing, a new level of understanding. How is this a part of your soul's purpose? How is this a part of the divine plan? How does this work in tandem? So really, I will encourage you to remember the experiences you've been through and remember what you're committed to, and remember that you have to keep challenging your own dogma in the process of putting your voice out there so that your example is very clean, and also people can learn from where you've been and where you're headed. There's this whole thing of learning from where you've been and where you're headed. And that will help you understand and refine and define, okay, what's the next part of my path? What's the next part of the unfoldment of my soul's journey in this time frame? You might be receiving messages about that. Those messages might be challenging at some point, or helping you to challenge the things within that you feel you still need to work through. We all have things to work through all the time. And, even after we check out, we're going to have things to work through. So just be prepared and be open that the energy and what you're putting out right now is gearing you up to learning more about how this is defined in your purpose. And it feels like it's going to be more refined as well, not just defined, but a refinement. And maybe your message to the world will also have some refinement around that. Meaning you might be talking about, I haven't listened to your podcast yet, but you might be talking about this, and you might be talking about that, or you might be talking about that. But this energy has more of a focus to it that helps you refine it. So it gets a little bit more targeted in terms of where you're being guided. So I hope that helps. And yeah, let me know how that goes. How does that sound to you, JK?
I think you said you're right on. I think you said.
Okay, well, I didn't know what you said, but I'm going to say thumbs up.
Yeah, thumbs up to you, Maggie.
Perfect. I got that.
All right.
You hit it right on the head of the nail.
The next time that we are going to be here, and I want to remind everybody, you hear what you just heard, or if you're watching this and you've just said, oh, wow, they did a reading. It could have been you. Yep. But you didn't call in.
That easy. But see, just kind of validating what I was sharing now. She just reading those cards, and he's like, yep, I understand. Like, he didn't shuffle them. She took his soul print of consciousness, that energy vibe of who he is as this person, and then was able to infuse it into the cards to get a reading for him. And apparently pretty accurate, because it could have been anything. It was like, I do seem to understand what that might be telling me.
I'm pretty sure I was preparing for this my whole life when my grandmother taught me how to play cards. She taught me how to shuffle 3 different ways, taught me how to play cards, and I loved it. So I think I was learning at a young age and didn't even know.
My grandmother gave up. My grandmother, you can't play cards.
Is it because you couldn't sit still?
Well, that too, but I mean, it was also she was like the chief psychic in the house, so
very cool.
She was like, "No, this is not for you," one of those kind of things. Yeah, the next time you guys are going to come back is on the 27th. So I'm hoping, and I'm going to say this so that everybody knows this. The number to call in is 609-663-0153. If you call in on the 27th, you will get a reading. We will talk to you. Who knows? This is a party.
Yep.
You're invited to the party. It's a party
come on.
Life. Your life.
Beautifully said.
So there you go. Wait a minute. I do. Can you do a quickie?
Sure. She'll do it.
James, I see you're on. James?
Oh, this is Annette, actually.
You cheated and took the wrong phone.
Well, I actually cheated, and it's all under his name, so.
Oh, my goodness. All right, listen, Annette, I have Jamie here, and I have Maggie here. Who would you like to speak to?
Your vibe feels familiar.
Hello.
Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, I know that vibe. Very cool. What's going on?
Yes. Oh, nothing much. I just thought I'd call in and say hey to you guys.
Cool. Hey, like you already know, but pay attention because I feel like you're getting more intuitive. Your abilities are amplifying. So, journal, that kind of stuff. I always say I now record into my phone because I have my phone a lot more than a pen and paper. And then it can be transcribed and put on that. But I just feel like you're starting to tap in even more effectively and in a variety of different ways. So if you're okay, journal some of those experiences. Quick date, time, just a quick experience of what it was. That way you get a track record.
Absolutely. Actually, right now, funny that you said that. I went through a light code activation last night, and I am drawing what I saw. So
Excellent.
I'm actually sitting here coloring right now.
Good.
Beautiful.
No.
I threw down some cards for you, and you have the Ace of Wands, which is an activation card. It's like an energetic breakthrough. So that's one for my Solodex. Like you went through a specific activation. Actually, we went through an activation last night too, as well. Very cool. That Ace of Wands, whatever was activated within you, is going to do a couple things. One, it's connecting you to your creativity. Of course, you're drawing it. So that's part of it. And you're going to be using a lot of this creative energy, but the message and the activations are going to start shifting energy within you. Okay. So I want you to pay attention to a couple of shifts that you might feel. First, I want you to pay attention to what shifts in your body. Tonight, do a body scan. Tomorrow morning, do a body scan. Just pay attention because I feel like there is some shifting happening. I also feel like some of these shifts that are happening are going to help with some of the more ancestral lineage issues and things that you have been consciously already working with. Okay. But I do feel like you're going to feel some of those shifts in your body. They can show up in your everyday life in other ways as well, but I'm definitely getting this whole body connection with this energy field. So just realize that it's shifting. I think that you have been asking to shift some energy around some issues that may have either carried through your lineage or ancestry, something like that. This activation for you is going to help start shifting those things. It's going to be very effortless. There's not going to be a whole lot that you have to do, but I do want you to notice what is shifting because I feel like you've been asking for some major shift especially through that ancestral lineage where that's concerned.
Absolutely. I have been. I've also been asking for it through past life.
Okay. So you're going to start, this activation is a big one for you in the sense that you're going to start feeling those shifts. But like I said, it's going to be very fluid. It's going to be comfortable. It's going to move you into like just a cool vibration, but it's a very cool activation for what you've been asking for, which is great.
Wonderful. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah, that's cool.
Very, very much. I'm so excited about just everything that's been going on, and just know it's going to get even more weird, wild, and wonderful, I guess.
Yes.
Yes. But again, you're
Very
now
much
taking,
so.
yeah, you're taking that experience from the metaphysical and putting it into the physical, in this case, drawing that. Now you're solidifying that energy of your experience, which is really cool. And that, again, is some of the artistry of creativeness of what speaks to people. It's like, man, I feel it. Like, right, good, exactly. Not I think it, I feel it. That feelings are the language of the soul. Words, the language of the mind.
It's very interesting, like when you do a body scan, when you just kind of like check in and see what's shifting, what's changing, like it can be very subtle and very profound at the same time. The energy, when the energy shifts, it's all connected, body, mind, and spirit. It's all one. We're all like part of that wholeness. So when we shift energy, or when we experience an activation, whether it's a light code activation or any activation, whether it's into our gifts or into anything, it will subtly start shifting vibrations in the body. And the more I think that we can be consciously present with those experiences, it allows us to integrate in different ways and different frequencies. It's just a really cool thing. And if you're not sure of how to do a body scan, don't overthink it. Just kind of check in, say, okay, higher self, we're going to scan the body head to toe. Let me just feel, where am I drawn into my body? What am I feeling in my body? What am I noticing in my body? And you don't have to overthink it. You don't have to do it for hours or anything like this. It's just a quick check-in going, okay, where am I feeling this in my body? And then check in again later and see if it's shifted. I feel like this shift for you is going to happen over a period of time, but a quick period of time. So within the next couple of days, you're going to notice most of the shifts.
Yeah, wow. Because I did notice some last night. I could feel a higher vibration. And when I slept, I slept, but I didn't feel like I was in a sleep state. It was kind of a weird, I don't know.
How did you wake up? Groggy or no? Clear?
I woke up groggy, but I still felt that vibration.
Yeah, well, and you have to integrate that new vibration. Yeah, you definitely have to integrate that new vibration. And sometimes our bodies have to work that out too. It's when we're introduced to new frequencies, new vibrations, new channels of energy, our body has to process with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so that helps, Andrew. So maybe tonight when I go to sleep, then
smooth as a whistle. Yeah.
Just be able just to relax and just let it go and
put your intent.
There and go, what's going on with me?
Yeah.
The very thing that you're saying, put that intent before you go to sleep. Hey, it'll be smooth. It'll be easy. I'll remember everything clearly. Whatever it is that you want to do, because that body-mind connection is very strong. So when you can put that intent, and Maggie's very good at being able to do that stuff, but you can get more connected. You can go on that inner space astronaut journey and bring it to the surface of consciousness for people to go, oh, okay, I get that. And you know what? If you can do it, then I can do it. Yep. That's the point.
And talk to your body. I mean, gosh, we don't talk to our bodies enough. Just say, hey, buddy, I just went through this cool activation. You have to handle this frequency. Hey, so just relax. You're safe, open up, it's okay to talk to your body. I talk to my body all the time.
I was going to say no comment.
And the good thing is when you get a response.
Wonderful.
Yeah, you unify the body, mind, and spirit. Yeah. Then it's
the wholeness.
There you go.
Cool.
Dokie.
Nice work, Annette. Keep going, kiddo.
We are like out of here, and I'll see you on the 27th. And he'll probably be there somewhere. Oh, come on. This is going to go up. Next time, I'm telling you, we're going to go on a meeting thing, and I'm going to put out the link. I should give it to you a day before.
Cool.
Something. And just take the link and spread it all over the place, because anybody who uses that link can come in here.
Right.
Excellent.
And we just got a request. I didn't have time to respond, but we just got a request from someone in another country that couldn't call in, but wanted to come in like on so yeah, if you give me the link, I can share that as well for all our fans that are not in the United States.
We get it. Well, I get the ones from Russia, Russian University. So, I mean, and those are a bunch of kids.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, oh, I like they do good stuff. Yeah. I mean, really, I wouldn't touch. Oh boy, I'd like to write back. Like, hey, like, how's your, whatever.
How's your doing?
I mean, there must be. I'm serious. They must be, and this is just between us and everybody else listening. There are so many people that are over there in Russia, and I mean, we've had Poland, we've had that whole area, and that is written one time or another. Sent an email, sent a question, requested a video. Maybe they went into some system somewhere and it didn't play for them, so I sent them the real link, and then they, watched it. Now from that, people are people. Politics is politics.
Yeah.
People are. I never ever in my entire life, and I did 2 world tours with the band. I met people all over the world. Nobody that I met was nasty or bad or wanted to, shoot my foot or whatever. Nobody. They were all great people. It's what you see. Like, you guys don't see the news in the morning. Good for you. What we're reading the one couple of things. There's billions and billions and billions and billions of things going on in the world every day.
Mm-hmm.
The ones you see on the TV are maybe the 4 or 5 that are the bad ones, according to the media that sells commercials, because you go and you watch to see how bad it really is.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Yeah, huh?
Uh-huh. Hey.
Creativeness.
So
Cool.
tune into your podcast and your radio shows with no commercials. Ta-da!
Yeah.
Yeah, mine, no commercials. Never.
Very cool.
We did have them at one time. And then we did have paying commercials.
Yeah.
Came in. And then, people used to say, well, what if I have to tune that off or tune it out or get rid of it or whatever? Maybe you could edit it out when you send me a copy. I was like, what? I said, no, screw it. Forget it.
Always fun, Bobby.
Thank you.
JK, Annette, thanks for calling in. Great to talk with you.
Oh, baby. I want to remind you people, they will be back on September the 27th. Oh my God, it's around the corner. When you come back, remember one thing. We're here for you. We have a number. It's 609-33633-0153. 609-663-0153. If you have any problem whatsoever, write Bob Charles Show at live.com, and we will write back to you immediately. Meanwhile, God bless y'all. Bob Charles.